Countdown's over. 6 people are waiting now.
Yes. Still don't know why it takes like that extra few seconds before the backdrop screen to actually resolve on the screen. But anyway, just frog in my throat. Good morning, everybody, and good morning, Oggy. How you doing?
Good morning, or good evening for me.
Good evening.
8 o'clock at night here in the U.S. where I'm at.
And I wonder who's with us today. Who's joined us in the live stream today? Oh, Mark Badoon. Good morning.
Mark and Mr. Grove.
Mr. Groves. Mayor Groves. He needs to change his name
Mayor
to Mayor
Groves.
Groves. He needs to change his name on there to Mayor Groves. Paul in Sydney. Hello, Wazza, and everyone from sunny Sydney. Another day in paradise. Yes. Well, I've got actually a bit of a paradise shot there. I might as well flick straight over to that one. Thailand. Where is it? This one here. Yeah, Bangkok's air quality is a bit on the shitty side at the moment. Here's a couple of photos that a friend of mine sent me. Right, this is out his condo window. This is on a normal day in Bangkok. Blue skies, everything else like that. A little bit, quite a nice day. This is what it was yesterday out the same window. Absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? And of course they'll be checking all the exhaust pipes on trucks and cars and diesels, in a vain attempt to stop the rice burning. Not quite sure how that works, but they'll blame everything from incense sticks to diesel cars and everything else. But as I said, the problem is
here in the U.S. they blame cow farts.
Cow farts. It could be cow farts. You just hold a match up to it.
Releasing methane into the air.
Yeah, it's a stark contrast when you think about it. That's on a normal day, and then okay, Robert, Mr. Groves. Yeah, we know it's lovely down Charm. This is what it gets to be.
Sure, he didn't just need to clean his window.
Oh, you wonder if it's just a window. Yeah.
He just window cleaners hadn't been through.
But it is. It's this is what we get from rice burning or the commercial farming burning, which is like we've lost 15% of GDP with the tourism industry over the last 12 months. And the last thing the government wants to do right now is to actually sort of turn around to the farmers and say you can't burn your crops, because that'll be another loss of 15 to 20% of their GDP as well, and Thailanders would never recover. So it's they'll point the fingers at everything from incense sticks to well, whatever they point their fingers at. It's just not going to solve the problem, unfortunately. What do they have to talk about? That's a video. I can't really play a video. Bangkok's air quality is unhealthy today. What have we got? What have we got this morning on the AOQ? There we go. Air visual. Okay, we got 205 today, Saturday morning. Where am
205 what?
Oh, that's the way the rating is, like a very unhealthy.
Parts per million of
whatever it is.
pollutants or something.
Yep. Where do we live? That's Bangkok. And Naon Kem was 174, so it's not quite so bad here, but it still is 174. So it's not a healthy day. And of course, this doesn't do my walking any good. I'm trying to get out there in the fresh open air and breathe in some air and exercise the legs and I'm going to breathe in. Luckily, I've got a mask on anyway. Huge difference in pollution. That's clear blue skies here. Good morning, Marku. Okay, Marku, how you doing? Hello, from Dello, Richie Kingstar. You're busy with work. Hope all is good with you, mate. Well, Chanya's had a bit of a downturn in business in the last 2 weeks. Basically, Thai's a little bit concerned because like a lot of her business there is from the university next door, or one street down, and of course all the schools are closed at the moment, so she's not getting any university traffic. So the numbers are a bit down. So, hey, but this is what we get. We get that sort of thing during the school holidays. There's a downturn in business. But we got a definite apprehension of people getting out and mixing in public at the moment with the current state of affairs with the CV news. Let's have a look at what the news in Thailand. Registration, and we got the that's right. What do we got? Can I travel around Thailand? We'll have a look at some of these articles very shortly. Anyway, so what's everybody been doing?
Just been getting ready for my new position at work.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right.
You
got the promotion, didn't you? That's right. Yeah.
Yep. So that means I won't be coming to Thailand until 2022. So which probably isn't a bad thing. Just skip this year and show up next.
It's probably not a bad idea when you think about it, given the sort of current state of affairs. As we said last,
once I get over there around maybe November, if I've still got days left.
I think we sort of mentioned that last week. The fact that that the unrestricted travel, just getting here for you, 1 to 2 week, is almost unlikely until early next year. Then again, there's been talk this week of the what they call the travel vaccination papers, which means if you can show proof of vaccination, then there may be a wavering of that 2 week quarantine process.
Yes.
Maybe Q3.
What's funny here is they're now saying, okay, just because you got the vaccine, and you're still not a safe person because you might be carrying the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
So
carrying
it's
the
really
virus,
not you might have the virus in your system, but just be asymptomatic and not, your body's not reacting to it because your body's got the antibodies.
Yeah, that's right.
But you've still got the virus on you. So they're saying, no, you got to keep doing your masks and everything.
Unfortunately, this is what happens, like we've had 100 years of the flu vaccine, and people still get the flu. It's just going to be the same thing, but at least the vaccine, once we get a good percentage of the population done, it'll bring the R naught down to below 1, hopefully.
Yeah. Or if we can hit that herd immunity.
Well, that's the R naught. The R naught's really critical. Where basically people have been immunised, so they might be carrying it. It's only going to affect the people who aren't immunised, which is going to really sort of ramp up the whole, what they call the tinfoil hat brigade, the anti-vax brigade.
Oh, yeah.
I saw a post on my Facebook this morning from one of my one of my followers. There's something on BitChute there, WikiLeaks footage of NASA filming the moon landing on Earth. Yeah, come on, just drink the other Kool-Aid, guys.
Are they going to drink the red Kool-Aid or the blue Kool-Aid?
I don't know. said, the flat earthers, the anti-moon landing brigade, and the
Oh,
anti-vaxxers
I have proof that the Earth is not flat. If the Earth was flat, cats would have pushed everything off of it already.
That's right. I know they would. Yes, that's it. There's no doubt about that.
There is a flat surface, a cat will push anything on it off onto the floor. The Earth would be, there would be nothing on the Earth.
That's it. That's the way it works. Anyway, so who we got here today. So we only got 6 likes so far. Just got to keep 7. Okay, 7 likes.
28 people watching, 7 likes. Come on,
well,
people.
we're only just
Smash that button.
We're only getting started this morning. Okay, so I wish yeah, that's Kev, isn't it? Kev, how you doing? I can remember these people's names. Richie Kingstar. I've been busy at work for 12-hour night shifts and 8-hour day shifts. What time do you get to sleep then? God, 12 hours and 8 hours.
I don't do that anymore.
It's 24 hours sleep a day? That doesn't make sense. 0 community transmissions in 2 days in Australia. That's good. I have a huge pool and no need to clean it. Plus plenty of eye candy. It's called the beach.
Doesn't count. That's not a pool.
That's a big pool. It's a pool with waves, isn't it? Yeah.
That is called an ocean.
Well, yeah. The Bay of Thailand's not an ocean. Come on.
Well, whatever. I mean,
which beach, Paul? It was born and grew up in Bondi. Yeah. Not far away from Bondi. Yes. Dilbo Baggins. Dildo. Sorry, Dildo Baggins. Why don't I say Dildo Baggins? Dildo Baggins. Maybe I'm just trying to clean the channel up a bit.
Reminds me of what was that? Board of the Rings from the what was that? The Harvard, the Lampoon, National Lampoon Press.
No community transmissions in New Zealand. Folks at the beach together would be wonderful. Dalo, watching your latest video. Great set of melons.
Yeah, drinks, that is.
They were a lovely set of melons. Yeah, melon drinks. Yeah. Of course, Chanya was really sort of playing up with the push-up that day.
The melons.
Oh, she dresses well. Always loved the way she dresses.
You have it rough, sir. You have it very rough. I don't know how you know.
Somebody put me onto another Thai vlogging channel the other day. The guy's got something like 95,000 subscribers, and I watched a couple of his videos, and I'm going, Jesus, how does this guy get 95,000 subscribers? Then I look at the clickbait on all the videos, and it's just basically his girl in a bikini, right? I gotta get Chanya in a bikini more often,
Was that the holistic trainer guy?
Something like that, yeah. No, not holistic trainer. I can't remember who it was. I'll have to go back and look at my history. But
He's got a piece of eye candy. Oh my God! It's me, Sai. That's the gal on the channel. She's got her own channel now, also.
He calls himself Esquire in Asia. Esquire.
Never watched that one.
But yeah, it's nothing special. It's just him and here living in Thailand with his pretty girlfriend. She's a bit of a she's a hot piece. There's no doubt about it. But like the only reason why he's got his views is the fact that every second thumbnail he's got him and his girlfriend or his girlfriend in a bikini. So I got to get Chanya in a bikini more often. That's all. How do I do that?
Yeah.
I got to go to the beach. We just don't
the
get
holistic
to the beach.
trainer. He has 261,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
And his woman is just off. And they're always going to resorts, and she's in a bikini and swimming in the pool, and
yeah. Though I think I've been watching sort of recently that Sonny's been doing a bit of the photographing his lovely wife as well. On his Facebook. Boomboss, yeah. She's a nice girl too.
She's lovely.
She's been accused of being a ladyboy. Oh my God, really? Chanya sort of said I need to get down to Phuket and we'll hang out for a couple of days, and we're going to do that video. The lady boy and the not lady boy together side by side. Come on, can you pick?
Which is which?
But yeah, some of the things that we've got coming up for this year, if we can actually sort of get to, what they call internal, what they call no quarantine local travel, because that's what they're talking about now. Even going into province, there's talk about quarantining local air travel. But this is all just talk, of course. These things just get played up in the news circuit. Yeah.
I forget what we have, 9,000 cases yesterday.
I think we only had 153 or something yesterday.
Yeah. I'm talking Arizona. The state of Arizona, over 9,000 cases yesterday. It's like 9,863 on January 14th. New cases reported.
What have we got? What's the Thailand? Let's have a quick look. It's down here.
Yeah, you guys are way down at the bottom. It's just like I'm looking at that going, our daily rate is higher than your overall for the. Well, no, I guess you're at 11,000 now. We have almost that many thousand deaths in Arizona from COVID.
Okay, we had 157 yesterday. Nothing reported. The day before yesterday. Yesterday there was the 12th of the 1st. There was 157. There was nothing on the 13th, and the 14th was 459. So halved that's at 200. So it's They've put a stop on the rapid climb, but I don't think that it's going to take a few more weeks. The guys on
Arizona is leading the world in the rate of new cases right now.
Is it? Yeah, fair enough. But yes, our what do you call it? Our line group that we chat about going and doing boys' nights out and things like that. That was saying my birthday in 2 weeks, letting on my real age. Now it's 40 years old and a few months. What's a few months between? Well, what's 240 months between friends? If you're gonna quibble about 240 months, you're not my friend. Okay, I'm 40 years old. Okay, but yeah, they're trying to think about.
I've always said I'm 39 years old with 19 years of experience.
19 years of experience. That's right. Yeah, but they're trying to work out. Hopefully we'll get some opening up of some of the night venues so we can go out and hang out and have a party for my birthday. But that looks like it's going to be a birthday party. Might be postponed till mid to late February, the way things are going. What's the chatting amongst the server? We'll buy it again. Yeah, we have been 3 weeks nights and the starts. Yes, they're a great colour. Chanya's always beautifully dressed. Yes, she just knows how to do it. I think she's, we've always talked about setting her up with her own channel, and doing makeup and fashion. I think it could be a good potential channel. But yeah, it's just getting her into the whole idea of the fact that it's something you need to dedicate yourself for, and you're going to be regular and make videos, and you're going to get the editing done and everything else. She's got a computer at the office. She's probably got time to do this sort of stuff. She does have a TikTok, but she's not doing fashion and makeup advice. So how she would do that's another thing altogether. I wouldn't know how to even instruct her how to do that. It's just weird, Paul is sitting here exactly about right about Esquire. Yeah, it's all right. But as I said, if I can get Chanya into a bikini, one video every 3 or 4, then I think we could really sort of launch this channel in the big time. Come down to Charm where I can wear a mankini. Really? What was the latest thing? There's this new beard style. I had to say something on my channel. Did I post it? Well, I just made a comment on something. There's a new the monkey's tail beard. What the? Who comes up with this shit? Really?
Monkey's tail beard.
Let me see if I can find it.
I got to go look at that and see what in the world you're talking about. Monkey's tail beard.
Monkey tail beard. Yeah, there we go. And we go images.
Oh, jeez.
Like honestly, this is just the height of being like. This is just millennial crap. It is just completely, absolutely flippin' ridiculous.
Looks more like a cat's tail to me, but you know, if they want a little pussy on their face, that's fine.
Who would even degrade themselves to this level? I'm sure it's done as a dare, but honestly,
same kind of people that wear man buns.
The world has just gone completely loopy, hasn't it? Really? Oh my. Yeah. Okay. Don't follow me for fashion advice. You know, if you're going to wear a monkey tail beard, unfriend me now. I don't want to know you. God Almighty. Absolutely. I can't get over it. It's fashion. Oh. Anyway, enough of that. 60 days and 60 and 6 days. Dalo, do you actually
Dalo, he said that was from a couple of days ago.
He's a couple of days older than me, is he? I thought he was a couple of days younger. Oh, that's Stephen.
No. He was asking if the background is your local street.
Oh, okay. No, he just said 60 and 6 days. No presents, please. Just send money. Same here. Like we'll do that too in 2 weeks' time. You know. I think when is it? My birthday's actually on. Is it on a live stream day? No, it's on a Monday. Okay, so yeah, I won big tips on the 30th. Okay.
You mean we're both in January?
No, 1st of February.
Mine was January 6th. Yours is the 30th?
1st of February is mine. So.
1st of February. Oh, okay. So you're one of those Febs.
Yeah, still an
Phoebes.
Aquarian.
I'm a Cappy.
Give or take just a few months. Yes. Scrolling through. Is that background? Yeah, this one. One of my Patreons has said, look, when you go on your walk, just take a few photos of your local street. You know, just things that you think are weird, right? And this one was taken 2 days ago. Actually, it was 2 nights ago. Right. It was my evening walk, right? So we walked in the morning and the evening. This is what it gets like in our street, right? Nobody gives way to anybody. This guy here and this car here, he's just stopped for food. Stuff everybody else, right? So you definitely got 2 lanes of traffic that can move freely, but people stop in their cars, and then everybody just gets blocked up, bottlenecked, just trying to get around there, and nobody will give way to anybody. It is ridiculous. I've been meaning to actually do a video of this thing here, but I think, you know, it could be sort of, you know, like considered to be defamatory in some sense, you know. That's why I try to avoid that defamatory sort of, you know, like showing the complete ignorance of Thai driving here. And this is a side street, and it's not the main street.
Put it on your private site.
Oh, I could put it on my Bangkok Insider stuff, yeah, so it doesn't go too public. But yeah, it's just just bizarre. Yeah, because we're a side street, so there's no real helmet laws of side street. But you know, everybody wearing face masks and nobody wearing helmets. Gotta love Thailand. It's okay to smash your brains out on the side of the concrete, but no, you can't have a virus that's got a 98.9% success rate of survival. Smash your head against the concrete, it's not got much chance of survival at all. But you know, that's just life in Thailand.
See, if you have the accident and you don't have the mask on, they'll blame COVID for the death.
Oh yeah, I suppose yes. So like, there he is, his brain's all over the concrete. Oh, he died of COVID. Yeah.
He coughed at the wrong time.
That's exactly right. But yes, the
we
craziness
just
in
had
our
a
street.
motorcycle officer here slam into a wall and kill himself. riding his motorcycle. It's like,
Yeah,
what?
that was the pollution was not too good that day as well. That was a couple of days ago. So that was when pretty much those photos were taken as well that I showed before. Yeah. So yeah, that's just what we got, you know. And I walked down the street, you know, as you did. I did the video a couple of weeks ago. I walked down there morning and night. You know, people are getting used to the fact that you know, more people recognise me doing my daily walks and giving a wave and all that sort of stuff. You know.
There goes the crazy Farang.
There goes the crazy Farang walking. You know, why doesn't he have a motorcycle?
What's he trying to prove? Is he too poor to own a motorcycle?
Yeah, he's too poor to own a motorcycle, even a push bike. Yeah.
And did you make any inroads into finding a push bike this week?
We had a look at it. There's some more. There's some, you know, I've been looking at Lazada as well. Lazada's got some stuff on there. Lucky, no thanks, Mitch. So, goatee might suit was. I had the goatee in January, but it's all grey, you see, and if you let it go too long, it start to look like Gandalf. And of course, they're now talking about the fact that, you know, masks are completely useless if you've got a beard behind there because there's zero filtering. So, you know, I took the goatee off because, well, one, Chanya didn't like it, and two, it, you know, because of all the mask wearing, you know, it seemed to be a bit pointless. So it went off, and haven't put it back again. Have the boot. Oh, okay. Let's have a look at. Get back here. Let's go and have a look at my Lazada account. There was a couple of options that I had to log in. Log in with LastPass. I put a few options there. This is the first one I saw. Open a new tab. Let me get on the screen here. This one here is a sort of it's a mountain bike style, but it's also a fold up. It's also got suspension on it, but I really think that the suspension could be improved. What was that one there? That was size 26-inch, 4,590 baht. That was looking like an option. There was this one here, and then there was this one here. Yeah, I was looking at there. This was the conventional style. I just, you know, I went to the Big C and had a look at what they had in Big C, and got to sit on them, and I was, you know, feeling how well these disc brakes work and everything else, and they even the ones in Big C, I think there was one there for 7,000 baht, which seemed a bit more sturdy than the one that was 3,000 baht or 4,000 baht. They just seem very plasticky now. Not like, you know, the days, you know, I remember having a push bike when I was young where, you know, the thing weighed, you know, 20 kilos, you know, made of steel.
They're trying to shed weight, you know, to make it lighter. Carbon fiber frames, titanium, all these different things they're doing to shed weight to make it more.
But they've got to worry about these suspension units on them. You know, how good are the front fork suspensions on them? And of course, you know, the other one here, the reason why I was looking at this one here is the fact that it's got the you know, it's a foldable, but it's also got rear suspension, and you start to look.
Yeah, it's got a monoshock.
And you look at the construct there, and how stable are they? You know, because these ones in Big C, they just seem quite flimsy. Okay, I might only be 85 kilos, but they just seem flimsy, you know, compared, you know. So I need to do some more research on it. I don't want to go out and buying something on Lazada half cocked on that. There are some bikes that I've sort of seen that have they're more of a solid frame, but they have a thicker tyre. And that's the sort of thing I was looking for to get rid of, you know, to take out the ruts and bumps on the street, you know. But yeah, so there's still got a bit more research to do on that one. But yeah, so I am looking. I just don't want to go off, half baked and sort of, come up with something that's really not there. And Mr. Monash has joined us. G'day, Mr. Monash. Friendly Horse UK, cold and sleet here. What was it? There was another one I put on my here. So, gotta love Photoshop. Now, why is this? Okay, can anybody tell me the obvious issues or the obvious Photoshop issue on this photo?
They're on the wrong side of the road.
There we go. Well, it's got to get them. You probably read what I wrote in the Discord.
No,
Didn't you?
I didn't. I just looking at it, going, "Oh, that's a U.S. roadway."
Yeah, like these people who do these Photoshop images, don't they have a clue the fact that in Thailand we drive on the other side of the road? That gantry is obviously US style gantry, given where we are. Right, and the sign is over the right-hand side of the road. We don't drive on the right-hand side of the road, guys, right?
And it's easy enough to flip the image.
Well, you got to flip the image, then done the paste up, yeah. But no, it's just people are just
idiots.
dumb. Sorry, but yeah, no, we don't have snow in Thailand. No snow in Thailand. People are dumb.
You hear that, people? You're dumb.
Dumb people. Cold as sleet here, 3 degrees. Yes, more wrinkles than inches in the blame it on the cold. I wonder if Thai driving is the same as Chinese driving. Diabolical. Well, of course, I've seen some of those videos on YouTube because that's the sort of stuff that floats my boat. The bad driving videos. There is a channel that's dedicated to bad driving in Thailand, I believe I've come across. But I think the driving in Russia, that has to take the cake, honestly. The driving in Russia, right? The stuff you see in these videos, honestly, because everything in Russia has a dash cam. I'm pretty sure and there must be some sort of site that you dared to upload these dash cam videos of people and their bad driving, because it is absolutely crazy over there. And when you get snow and ice on the roads, it's even worse. Northern CA, Oregon, Washington, lovely places. God bless America. Keep your head on a swivel and expect the unexpected, and driving in Thailand is fine. Yeah, Mr. Mitchell, I don't really get freaked out by driving here in Thailand. I think if I had an accident, I'd get a little bit panicked by, what is the procedure, because I believe, from what I understand, the best procedure is to say nothing and call your insurance agent, right? Let them get there, and then once they get there, all you got to say is, I have dash cam video, right? And then let them deal with the rest, because the insurance agent, they don't want to pay out the insurance, right? Let them deal with the authorities. But don't talk about dash cams or videos or anything else like that until your insurance assessor comes along. That's what I've been told. So, my first phone call would be to the insurance assessor, and there's probably a second phone call to Chanya to say, well, if she's not in the car or whatever, is to know, well, something's happened here and we need to follow procedure, because I doubt it'd be my fault, given the way Thais drive over here, but, That's it. You're a foreigner, so you'll instantly be accused of everything under the sun, and only your dash cam footage is going to save you. David boy, how's the smog? Yeah, well, I showed that a little bit before. So this is from a friend's condo in Bangkok last week, I believe he said it was. And this one here was yesterday in the same condo. It's not looking too good there, Davy boy, and it's just really not looking at all healthy. There's a video there of, I don't want to play the video because it's copyright, but yeah, it's not looking too good. All the rice burning. Where's Andy Stubbs? I don't know. He's AWOL. Really? Mr. Andy Stubbs. Where are you, Mr. Andy Stubbs? A bit like that in China.
He's not going to answer you, is he?
I know. I saw cops in China stop someone in their car and shoot the poor fella in front of his family. I find that hard to believe. There's probably, but, what we see on video is always half a story, isn't it? You never know really what the underlying thing is in there. The media only want you to see what they want you to perceive. It's all to do with the clicks. $1 bet Warren gets an electric bike. Well, the whole idea of an electric bike is a great idea, but it defeats the purpose of actually, working on this fitness regime. Well, okay, last time I did the thing, I went to the gym and sort of almost broke my back. I'm working up now. I'm working up to the fitness, doing it a gradually progressive, and the weight's coming down. Mind you, only 0.1, 0.2 a day, but it's going down. There is a gradual decline in the weight. I'm feeling a lot fitter. And I will continue to endeavour to work on it. I'm not doing what Friday Joe did and do the whole 12 kilo push. God, the guy must have killed himself to do that, but he did. He lost 12 kilos in a month. But I think most of the time, most of that he shed a lot of muscle weight too. There's a long extension cord, exactly, Robert. They don't have extension cords long enough for electric bikes, do they? Similar boat suspension works so well, I almost needed 5-point safety harness when I went up a month. Really? Are you joking about that, or is the suspension does work on them? I didn't really want to ride one around inside the shop in case I fell off and went through something, then have to pay for it, Just a couple of playing cards and a closed clip, and my bike is way faster. I remember doing that on our push bikes back when when we were teenagers. The clickety card on the push bike. Of course, they got really fancy now. You can actually buy a special thing, for your bike, which is a plastic card, not a playing card, but a proper plastic card that lasts a lot longer. You have to pay some money for it as well. Ridiculous what people buy these days.
It's called a credit card.
Stephen Monash won't ride far enough to need an extension cord. Shut your mouth, Mr. Monash. Remember those? There you remember those days. Never buy a gun half. Yeah, okay. The corner is missing. The corner's missing. It's not snow. It's nuclear fallout. Okay, Mr. Thai-tastic. G'day, Mr. Thai-tastic. How are you doing? Another Thai vlogger there. If you're not familiar with him, go and check his channel out. Cold as charity. Greetings, Trent's Travels. G'day, Trent. How you doing? And good morning, Mr. Stuck in Florida. And here's Hoggy, Mr. Stuck in Arizona.
Yeah. I wouldn't say I'm stuck.
Wouldn't you?
I could leave if I wanted to, but there's no place to go that's any
better than
I'm perfectly fine where I'm at.
Yeah. And gee, Warren is Elvis. Elvis? How does that work out? Lucky Kev. I lived in the PRC for a decade. PRC? What's PRC?
People's Republic of China.
Oh, okay. People's Republic of China. Okay. Another one there. Okay. Foreigner Joe would ride with one wheel just to me. Yeah, I know. I'm just wondering whether he actually did try riding with one wheel, monoing up and down the street just to prove he could do it. Make sure your new bike.
If you're going to do that, you might as well ride a unicycle.
Make sure your new bike has foot brakes. Foot brakes?
No, that's where when you backpedal, it breaks. Those suck.
Back pedal
That's
brake.
a kid's
Yeah.
bike.
Yeah, okay, yeah, back pedal brake. Some of the best stunt bikes have back pedal braking. Um, but not that I really want to do any stunt riding. Mr. Darth Vader, if you get one of those bikes with the really fat tyres, you can get really plush ride if you don't overdo the pressures. Harder to push.
They've got like an 1.5 2-inch diameter tire.
Yeah, harder to push so you get more exercise. Yeah, because there's a lot more weight in it. Because the rubber does add a lot more. And it goes, the less pressure.
It gives you more surface area to take up the bump.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Sort of, and it is for the exercise and something to look different. There was one I saw on the street a few months back, but they're not a very popular ride over here. I just got to go to a few of these bike shops. The bike shop we went to in the video, they didn't have much at all apart from carbon fibre, and I wasn't going to pay 18,000 baht for a push bike. Can you recommend a used car dealer today in Bangkok and show some day prices? Well, we haven't even been looking at cars. I know I did a video a couple of years ago where we were looking for the motorcycles. We went down what we call Auto Alley. There's the Rantanan Pisek, Tanan Rantanan Pisek, or I think Rama Song, the road it's called Rama Song. That road through Bangkok. It's just left and right hand side of the road from the mall for 5 kilometres is basically Auto Alley. And they got used car dealers left and right hand side of the road. Quite a big choice of cars and everything else, but we're not looking for a car at the moment. So even right now, sort of getting out and doing those sort of things. I need to take Chanya there to really sort of to get any sort of semblance of context of the story, because again, foreigner can't lease, and you'd be paying cash and what you're buying, and they're only going to speak Thai, so I don't know whether there's actually anything useful as a video, but I'll definitely put it on the list of maybe we can go and do that at some stage, do some used car buying and show what the prices are. I know Foreigner Joe has done a few videos like that recently, talking about used cars. So you might want to go and check out what he's doing if you just want the information. You don't want the my point of view on it. Because really, I don't have a point of view at all. I think used cars are overpriced here in Thailand. There's definitely something dodgy with the pricing of cars. But hey, this is Thailand. We get used to it. Price of new cars was expensive because of the import duties, which then puts the price of the used cars up because people are milking it, or the duty's been paid, but they want to get their duty back, when they're selling their car, so they can go and buy new, get the idea. It's one of those sort of things. Dragster with a sissy bar. I remember when I was a kid, in our street in Australia, Chris and Mark White both had those Dragstar bikes, and I had a proper Malvern Star, with the bent down racing handlebars. But like the Dragster bike, that was the in thing. That was the bike to have. Although my bike was better, for every sense of the word. Mine was a racing bike. Nobody wanted the racing bike because that was mainstream. But the Dragster, that was the thing to have. Just like skateboards. Having like my skateboard was more durable. I had a plastic top on my skateboard, whereas Mark and Chris had the what they call the 5-ply laminated with fiberglass, because that was the in thing to do, because they were lighter. I don't know. people do this stuff. They broke a lot easier too, and I think they went through 3 tops for my one where all I did was wear out the back plate of mine from doing the kickstand. But that's another day, another life in those days. I don't think I should ever get on a skateboard again. I'd probably kill myself. Yeah, the big banana seat. That's right. Yeah, I remember those. Streamers out the handlebars. God, you remember that too, do you, Stephen? God, you got a good memory. I did until you said it. I completely forgot about the streamers. That was, of course, Mark and Chris both ripped those off because that was just too much. You can't have the streamers on there. That's a girl's bike when you get the streamers on it. I want a flower basket with tassels too. It's really. All the rich kids. Yours was third hand. Yeah, well, mine wasn't second hand, but mine was new when it was got. But it was it was still in the roof of the garage when I got rid of all the junk in the house, moving over here. So, I probably could have sold us an antique. Mine had gears. The gears on mine had hub gears and only had the three speed. But I always wanted the what they called the loop chain gear because everybody had loop chain gears. But ultimately, the 3-speed hub gears were actually more reliable and gave you better gear ratios. What have we got? Called choppers here in New Zealand back in the day. That's right, we called them choppers too in Australia. Maybe even a tractor. Same here, easily drink, easy to dinky on the dragster. I don't know what that means. Dragster was 3-speed, strummy arch, T-shift in front, the seat. Yeah, so yeah, I know. I think Mark came off a few times and had a few what they call blue balls from right, how it goes. But we were indestructible in those days. Yes, the memories. I think the bike made. If the bike is made in China, you need a flag at the back. Is that right? Anyhow, have to go. Okay, Kev, nice of you to join in. Nice to hear from you. How fast do ambulances run in this is the thing. There's actually been quite a few articles over the last few months of people dying in ambulances because the arseholes in front of them won't let them through. And I think there's one more recently, only about 3 weeks ago, where the guy that was blocking the ambulance actually then sort of changed lanes, right, then changed lanes back in front of the ambulance, right, and stopped the ambulance and abused the ambulance driver. Of course, he's been raked over the coals and been fined, but the person in the ambulance died because of being held up by this idiot who just doesn't know his road rules. Right, and I believe that the family is now suing him in a court of law. But that's Thailand for you. Nobody gives way to the ambulances. That's the thing. In the city streets here in Bangkok, with the way the traffic is, ambulance. I don't know whether people just have no concern with the fact that the ambulance are doing a service, or what. They'll let houses burn down if there's a house fire. They'll let people die in the ambulance because it's not my problem. That's the sort of attitude that you get, and it really is beyond a joke. But again, this is what we're going to deal with here in Thailand. I don't think you'd have the same sort of problems out in some of the more rural areas because the traffic doesn't get so bad. But yeah, here in Bangkok, it takes a few seconds to get the camera ready to actually shoot that sort of video. And every time it's happened, I've either been driving when I see it, or it's just too inconvenient to really get an angle on it. I'd have to really sort of sit out there on an overhead bridge for 24 hours to get a shot of the ridiculous state of an ambulance. We've got 2 hospitals just along this stretch here, and they have a hell of a time trying to get through traffic. And it is quite often. You just see it. People just don't give way. It's a crazy thing we have to deal with here. Excuse me. Can have a dinky. The only thing that comes to mind was sort of the things that the 2 to 3 year olds would ride around on. And my brother, when he was 2 years old, fell after of a tit and knocked his front tooth out. So for 6 years he had a gap in his front teeth until his secondary teeth came through, until his adult teeth came through. And of course, when it came through, having lost that tooth, he always had problems with straight teeth at the front because the growth pattern. No helmets in the good old days. Yes, thankfully we don't have helmet laws for push bikes over here. Happy I'm not the only one that doesn't know what dinky means. I said the dinky was just like the 3-wheeled scooters that you'd run around on. The kids would, we used to call them dinkies. Pretty sure that's what he means. And they're usually made out of steel. I think the later model ones are plastic, but I remember the earlier ones, the pedal was on the front wheel, and they had 3 wheels. So they had 2 small wheels at the back and 1 larger wheel at the front, and the pedals are actually attached, fixed to the wheel. Pretty sure that's what he means, anyway. Dink was to share a ride on the bike on the bar. Is that right? Okay. We must be older. Yeah, I think you are. Google just schooled me. Have you, G-Player, have you seen fire in a house in Bangkok, and how do locals put it out with water? I haven't. Thankfully, I haven't sort of come across a house fire here. And they also seem to be very few and far between on the news. I know Tim shot some video of the fire that we had in the centre of Bangkok when a couple of years ago in what was the big shopping mall, and there was a recent house fire where a young kid, actually might even be on the news if I scroll through, there was sort of something that came up on the news a couple of days ago. Unfortunately, the way they do this, it doesn't there was a news article of a kid, jilted love, and he set fire to a mosquito net in a house and burnt the house down or something like that. But yeah, we get very few house fires. Well, not that it really becomes a big news item anyway. Seems Warren dinking. Yeah, I really don't know what dinking is. It's obviously it must be sort of a term that just really never come across my, or it came across as a different word. Yeah, no, I had a Melbourne Star. Yeah, I had the Melbourne Star. Well, I don't think. I think people are a little bit more conscientious of the state of looking after one's life. I said, when you start to sort of, like I remember the floods here we had in 2009 or 2011. People being electrocuted from devices that were plugged in, and the water rising in the house, but to thankfully you don't get that happening too often. But when you look at the sort of state of electrical systems in houses, it's quite surprised we didn't see more deaths as opposed to the house fires. Well, most houses are made of concrete, so you get the whole wooden frame housing sort of style thing. You get a lot of that out in the countryside, but they're not crammed in together. All those houses around here are all concrete. The way they do it, they render the concrete and everything else. Stephen Duke, g'day. So subscribe. Good on you, Stephen. Yeah. So Gary Brown just subscribed. Good on you, Gary Brown. So they get this rendered concrete, and that's very hard to catch fire. So there might be occasions of oil on the stove, but again the cooking's done outside the house as well generally. So we just don't seem to see that much of house fires here. In 1968, I had a three-wheeler. Parents must have thought me uncoordinated. Yeah. You guys, Mr. Mitch, you guys ever heard of a Chappaquiddick incident in Ted Kennedy? No. I'd have to look that one out. And it's going too fast for me to cut and paste it. What is Chappaquiddick? What the? That sounds really quite rude, doesn't it? Chappaquiddick incident. Wikipedia. Go on, bring up Wikipedia. In the side of noticing the automatic on a jig bridge for the island of Chappaquiddick and the island-based incident. Properly known as Chappaquiddick was a single vehicle car crash that occurred in Chappaquiddick, Massachusetts sometime around midnight between Friday, June and Saturday, June 19th. The crash was Senator Edward M. Ted Kennedy's negligence and resulted in the death of a 28-year-old passenger who was trapped inside the vehicle. Kennedy left a party on Chappaquiddick. He maintained his intent was to immediately take to a ferry landing, but he accidentally made a wrong turn into a dirt road leading to a one-lane bridge. After his car skidded off the bridge into Poocher Pond, Kennedy swam free and maintained he tried to rescue a submerged car but could not. Okay. Interesting story. Yeah, okay, never heard of it. Obviously it's a local news story. Doesn't get really publicised around the globe. Philip Jenkins, could you give me an idea how much your new house is? A new house in Australia, Australian money. Okay. So it's 4.1 million in Thai baht. So just do a quick calculation right now. The Australian dollar is actually looking quite, well, not really healthy, but it's healthier than it's been in a long time. And we're running 27.17 at the moment. Converter. Okay, so 410000. Right, $177,000 in Australian fiat money. That helpful? I've just lost my place. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so hopefully that's helpful. So let's have 177,000. You know the name of the law firm that represented him? Okay. Sri Jazz. Good morning, Sri Jazz. Good to see you all. Assuming that is the correct spelling. Hey, Sri Jazz. Drinking is when you... Dinking is when you drink a was you drink a pigeon either side of the frame or handle. Okay, so it's when you got a person on either side of the. Okay, crazy stuff. No, never did that. Okay, moving along. Wine 'em, dine 'em, dink 'em, and dunk 'em. Okay. Okay, so that's fair enough. The BMX was gold for dink because the bars had a pad across them. Oh yes, I remember that. They had the pad of the handlebar. Most houses here were concrete and steel, hard to burn. Yes, Robert, that's the thing. They are hard to burn. I'm pretty sure if you put your mind to it, you could really sort of do some damage. But teddy bear. Hey Warren, just tuning in and was wondering if there is home insurance there. Well, that's a good question because I don't pay any home insurance here. This is a rental. Now in Australia, what we would do in Australia, we would have, if you were going to rent, you'd have you would have contents insurance if you're a renter, right? Because you don't give a shit about the house itself. The house insurance would be taken care of the owner. The owner would do a household insurance policy or a house policy, but then of course the rentee would take a contents policy. And that's something you can do in Australia. I really have no idea what we do over here. When we do get our house, we will definitely be taking a home and contents insurance policy. And that's something that's obviously sort of budgeted for. I got an idea what it's going to cost compared to the price of the house. So only to converting from Australia, but it's something I will be definitely doing. And maintaining, because that's just what you do, you know. But it's never has talked about here whether mother or Chanya does something about it. She's never asked for money for it, so I don't get involved in it. So yeah, she's got her budget. And thank you, Mr. Dowlow. Thank you for your kind and generous. Get a couple of nice melon drinks. That's in reference to the last video, of course. Excuse me. G-Play, if there was a lot of house fire in you live in, would you consider moving? Well, it would be circumstantial. You'd have to wonder why the houses are all catching fire, for one, right, if there was a pattern of household fire. But I think people have more, the way people keep on sort of modifying these houses out here on our street. These are 3-bedroom townhouses, and what they do is they fill in the garage area downstairs and then park on the street, which causes all sorts of problems in that. It's sort of but that's what they do. They fill in that and they make a 4th room, and there's a couple across the road now have extended out almost to the house boundary area, to the street, and made those rooms upstairs bigger or added an extra room as well. I'm not quite sure what the design is, but they've made them bigger. People tend, although the outside never looks 100%, as I said, the greying of the material here in the background, the dirt and the condition of these terrace houses, like these ones here. If I look at the quality of the mould on this is just basically, I would call it mould. Some people paint the houses, some people don't, but they have 6 to 8 people living in them usually. It's a Thai family, and I think they have a bit more respect for family than probably what we do in the West, and maybe that mitigates the need, the household firing. And again, maybe there is something to do with household insurance policies and people scamming the insurance policy by making it catch fire. Who knows? Something I haven't concerned myself with up until this point. But when we get our house, I'm sure that we will. investigate it very thoroughly. Teddy Bear, fires just hard to get flood insurance. Is that right? I haven't even looked at flood insurance. I suppose being in Bangkok up to out to what do you call it, the edge of Nakhon Pathom to almost down to Chonburi and up to Ayutthaya, even further north. We are in an alluvial floodplain, and yeah. Any insurance company would be crazy sort of offering some sort of insurance to guard against it, especially with their poor drainage systems. You'd be forever paying out on insurance policies, wouldn't you? Well, Teddy Bear, Patty is not actually below sea level. I think that's not really an accurate term. They are 1 metre above sea level. At what they call at the high tide level, but they've got very, very poor drainage systems, and they continue to try to improve that, and that's why you get all the hyped up videos of water rushing down streets, because there is a undulating surface there, unlike here where it's pretty much all flat. And when we had the floods here in 2011, it was just basically, for 2 weeks we had standing water because it just can't drain. Whereas in Pattaya, when you see these flood videos and street flooding, there's quite a high flow of water because there's water flowing down streets. And of course, gravity is gravity, and it's got to flow somewhere. So if it was below sea level, it would pool, wouldn't it? That's just logic. Morning, William. How you doing? Good to see you joining in. Got to go do the chores. Okay, Darlo, get some work done. William, I would imagine most house fires are caused by electrical fault and faulty wiring. Well, I have heard of that, but I don't hear many fires. That's the thing, and considering, we've got probably in our soy here, a population of probably 5,000 people in just in soy 106. There's the chances of fire from electrical faults is very high, but in the 4 years I've been here, I don't recall ever hearing of a house fire or still being privy to some sort of house fire. And in our sort of soy here, we've got the concrete buildings, but just to the back of the soy here, there's the fibro wood buildings. The land has been leased, like the thing that Chanya's dad lives in. He's on the what do you call it, the land that's owned by the temple, and the temple leases out is 30 square meters for him for 500 baht a month. It's a long-term lease, and that house is just basically wood and fibro, or wooden fibre, what they call it, that sheet fibre, prone to fire. But again, I don't hear of any fires out there either. That's the really sort of lower, poorer class here. These streets here are sort of working class. But of course, in the very fringes of the soy is the poorer. I haven't taken videos there. I don't want to sort of make it demeaning, but I could definitely sort of get a camera and sort of show you some of that living style at some stage if you were really interested. But I think that's sort of, we don't talk. It's the sort of thing we don't talk about. We might go somewhere else and do that sort of thing, not so much more local. I would imagine if we did that. No such things as floods in Thailand. The water, the government says water that has not decided. I think the term I heard a couple of years ago was water waiting to drain, was the correct terminology. They don't have floods here. It's water waiting to drain. because unfortunately, because of sea level, pretty much everywhere, and they have to actually pump out the stormwater drains into the clongs because there's no level difference. So the clongs are a concrete wall and give a higher drainage level to the sea, and they're going to pump out the stormwater drains into these clongs with massive pumps. You've probably seen them on the side of the road. We could definitely do videos of that sort of stuff. I don't know if it's really interesting, but that's how it's done over here anyway. It was used. Most hotel fires are caused by beds and the beds are burning. Probably. Surprise! How do we sleep when the beds are burning? How do you sleep when the beds are burning? Isn't it? It's Go-Go. G'day, Go-Go Hopping. How you doing today, Paul? With Thailand having sandy ground, sandy ground. The sand washes into the drains and blocks pipes. Well, we don't really have sandy ground here. I think it's more clay-based. But anyway, because of the fact that there's very little, height difference, it does clog up the clongs and things like that. I think when we saw sandy ground, I think we're talking more of the patio area. There's a lot more alluvial wash through because of the hilly nature of the patio area. Yes, the Midnight Oil song. I was trying to think of who sang it. Yeah. Anyway, so moving right along with it, 11:15. What do you want to talk about now, guys? If you quite welcome to hit the super chat button down below. I should do it. I don't do this enough. I need people to go and do all the promo stuff. If you want to come out and chat, there is the Discord link, which is just there. You can come on and say hello if you want. The link's down below. What else have we got? You can, like Tom Best did it, so I did it as well. I set up a page there for buy me a Red Bull smoothie. Of course, the site's called Buy Me a Coffee. Buy me a Red Bull smoothie. What else have we got? Don't forget, we've got our, I'm cut and pasting all the links here, the Patreon channel. As I said, with our Patreon, I don't really offer much special to our Patreons. One of the things I always offered for the Patreon members is if you come to Thailand, I'd make special efforts to come out and hang out with you, because there's not really much I can offer, apart from early preview of videos. And quite happy to say one of the Patreons wanted some photos of the local street, which is what I did. I went out and took some photos for him because he wanted it. There you go. I'll go and do that for the Patreon, something special. But I've always said, you want a special video for the Patreons, I'll make my best effort to go and do one for a Patreon. But nobody's ever asked, so it doesn't get done. I'm not going to make this shit up. And of course, we do have, and the last one there, just the PayPal thing. If you want to, make sure the most money goes to me, or goes to Chanya, because it always goes to Chanya anyway. You send it through PayPal because they only take a 1.5% commission, as opposed to 10% on Patreon and 30% on Google, and I think the Buy Me a Coffee. I'm not quite sure because the fact that when people have done that, I think it's only the PayPal surcharge there when they use the Buy Me a Coffee site. when the people have paid through that. So again, I'd recommend using that one as well. You can do it PopeKael direct, or you take it through the. It's up to you guys. It's never wanted or required, but it's always a nice little thing. Kickback to sort of say you like what I'm doing with the video style and everything else. It sort of lets me know the fact that I'm on the right track. Have you ever heard William? Have you heard of and changes to the requirement for Thai? Look, I saw that there was a video that what do you call it? Foreigner Joe did. He talked about the fact that there's now a new requirement that you've got to get something from the bank, which says where the bank can then see where the money's coming from, sort of proof of where these funds are coming from. I did make comment on Facebook on a post from the Richard guy, and all I got was the negative trolling on Facebook. It's always been the case. Well, I've never had, apart from the fact that the issues I've had, because one, it was Citibank and they no longer accept the Citibank, and last year there was 11 days where they couldn't see a balance, which is all their check boxes. They've never asked me to show where the money comes from. It's an international transfer. It says it on my statement, an international transfer. In fact, what does it say on my statement? I've never really looked at it. I've never looked at that closely because I wasn't going to worry about it until I actually sort of saw something written down, and I'll take Joe's advice on that and just go into immigration a week before you're due and just making sure you've got all the stuff that you need to do. Statements, activity. I need to go back. December. Yeah, all it says on my account, it says automatic deposit. Right, so it's an automatic deposit, but that's what it's always sort of said. So who knows what it's actually going to have, but as I said, Joe's got something on a video where he talks about it. We'll wait to see how things develop. Now, there's all this talk about, like there was talk last year, they were going to introduce the foreigner ID card. And all we got out of that, the fact that we already have a Tabian barn, why can't the Tabian barn be used as a foreign ID card? Why create something new, apart from the fact that you want to create jobs? So what's the Tabian barn? The Tabian barn is supposed to say you're a foreign resident here in Thailand. You are staying in a Thai residence. You're living in a Thai residence, right? And you're living here long term, and you've had proof of residency, and you've got 3 Thai people have prove your bona fides, and they've vouched for you, right? Which should be all you need. But the only thing about the foreigner ID card, or that the Tabian barn card, or what do they call it, is the fact that it doesn't have the little RFID chip on it. So they could upgrade that, go through the paperwork, get that, it's pretty hard to falsify that because it's got to go through local council, it's the right mechanism, but again, still 6 months later, nothing's been done. And they always seem to, they come up with these harebrained ideas. I don't know how it makes our life here easier, right? And it just sends the wrong signals. But hey, this is what we have to deal with. Thankfully, we don't have to deal with it too much. Just let us know what we're going to do, and we'll deal with it. Possible topic: WhatsApp has said they are now sharing info at Facebook. How many are switching to Signal? Well, Signal collapsed last night as well. And again, all I'm going to say, Discord is different. Alright, so let me just do a little bit of a run through on Discord again. Right, so let's do the Discord preview, right, and bring it over to the screen and show you what Discord is. I can't easily show you the app because the app is it's on the phone. Right, now there's all this hype about these private messaging systems. Right, Discord has been around for 10 years, and the reason why we use Discord is the fact that it's a private system. We do have private communications with our friends, direct messaging, as you do. I'm not going to go through and show you direct messaging, but these are direct messages that I have had from people like Dalo. He sent me a direct message on Discord. Des, Inspector, and Rescue. Right, this is all my private messaging. Right, who's online now? This is exactly what you've got on Facebook. It's almost an identical system to Facebook. It's private messaging between people. The operative word being private. But Discord has this more than private messaging. Once you've got a Discord account, right, and I can show you what a Discord account looks like. Basically, you get a handle. Right, this is my account here. Right, right. Streamer mode enabled, yeah. My account, I'm just trying to find you where it would actually, I think because I'm actually streaming it won't do me. But yeah, so, let me just escape out of that. Let's go down here. User settings, okay. For some reason I can't show you my handle. But yes, so I have a handle. It has my address, right? So, ultimately that's my address on Discord, right? If you want to contact me, once you set up a Discord account, right, you have an address. You can share that with your friends. It's not a challenge. It's it can cope with anybody influx. But again, we don't really want all these people who are bailing out of Facebook. Fine, we've had Discord will continue to run without an influx of people, but there's a system here that is private messaging, right? On top of that, you can elect to have your own hangout place. In our case, we have our own hangout place. Right, in my case, this is my server. Right, this is the one above here is my Discord patrons. They have a private server just for the patrons. Right, this is my this is my public channel. If you've got the address is down below, or the one I just posted there. It gives you an address. This is a hangout location. It's just not a messenger system. This is a group hangout, like we do on Facebook groups. Right, so. But Facebook groups doesn't give them the ability to create, places like, just for fun, posting funny shit, where we sort of live stream suggestions. We talk about movies and TVs. I put their latest videos in here when they're released. We like to have fun photos of Thailand, we were going to do some cooking. But that really hasn't taken off. I might delete that, but I'd like to talk about Thai cooking. It's something I want to get into when we get our house and I've got a place of my own to cook. General news and this is just not me. When you come into my channel, this is a place for you to interact with everybody in the channel. So it's just not me putting stuff up. You can put stuff up where, unfortunately, I can't control where you put it. Most people put shit in the fucking general news, which is the general chat because it's the top one, top of the list. They put everything here. But if you can keep it topical, put it in useful links. Useful links for people. There's some, as you can see, Agronomus and David, he put some useful stuff in there. Hip Flat, best property portal in Thailand. Is that right? I didn't know he put that up there. Hip Flat. Okay, when did he put that up in there? 4th of July. I must have missed that one. I'll have to look at that one later. Should have another property portal. But yes, so this is a place where the people who come to my Discord channel or my Discord forum or my Discord hangout, this is where you can share information with the other people who are part of the channel. It takes a little bit of getting used to because it's something that you're not familiar with. But this is what it's all about. The one thing I keep on trying to talk about is it's all private, right? Facebook don't know about it. Google don't get involved, right? It's private, right? It always has been private. That's why gamers use it, because we like to be able to talk privately. We like to be able to talk over the game noise. We like to be able to talk, in amongst our gaming friends and talk about anything, everything, without fear of retribution, fear of being told we can't say that in public, and so on and so forth. That's why we go to Discord, right? If anybody has half a clue, they'd be on Discord setting up their own Discord servers, right? In my case, right, well, there's somebody else's. Delta XX is here. Okay, Delta XX. He needs to go through, right? Now I have a little bit of a process, like I've got mine a little bit automated. When you come in, there is, you've got to read the rules, right? There's the rules. Be friendly and respectful. No advertising. That's an earned perk, okay? Be excellent to each other. Bill and Ted. Don't be a dick. That's it. Don't be a dick. It's all the same thing. Just be a human being. Try to post in the text channels that match your post. Don't share private info with other members, right? Privacy is something we like. There's a privacy system. We like to be private, and sharing information about other people, that's a breach in privacy. So just don't do it, right? We don't want to be, you don't want people sharing information about you, so don't do it about other people. And spamming, we'll send you the sin bin. That's something I don't do. Basically, if you start spamming the text channels, the bot will take over. I think you're posting more than one message every minute, or one hyperlink to an external site. It'll push into the black bin, the sin bin, and you can't post any longer. I either have to get you out of the sin bin, or Davey Boy, there's Davey Boy, get you out of the sin bin, or realise the fact that you're just here to be a dick, so then you just get banned from the channel. So these are the voice channels. The chat lobby, which is where we normally chat, right, and we've got on-air streaming. That's the on-air streaming one there that Davey's just joined. G'day, Davey. Hello.
How are you, mate? Yeah, how are you? Just got home.
Just got home, have you? Good to have you join us.
Yeah.
So the chat lobby is where we normally hang out just for general chat. And this one here, the on-air streaming, basically the two channels are separated because of the fact that we do have this thing here. We've got the Fred Boat DJ where people can queue up and play music, and we can play music, from YouTube and other social sources, we play all the latest tunes or the greatest hits or rock and roll or whatever you want. But they can't do it in this channel because it's streaming to YouTube, and YouTube don't like it. So that means that the music bot can't play in this voice channel. That's why we have the streaming channel. Right, after an hour, you'll get sent to the sin bin. Get to the away channel, or if you want to be not disturbed, or you're away from the keyboard, just drag yourself down there into the AFK channel. You don't even have to be there. If you disconnect from Discord, you still got access to the voice channels. There's Eliza. 3Jazz, g'day, how you doing? Let me just, and I know 3Jazz, there you go. You've been approved anyway, so you can come and say hello anytime you want. I know 3Jazz. It's as easy as that. And do you keep on creating a new account, Davey Boy?
No, do I? I don't know.
Yeah, because I keep on giving you approval, unless of course you keep on you know what you're probably doing? You're probably going down here or going into here and then leaving the channel, right? Leaving the Discord.
I think that's what I do, and then when I see you on YouTube, I just hit the Discord link, and that takes me straight through to the Discord app. And
all you got to do is
I get the invite again.
See this one down the bottom here, the disconnect? That's what you need to do. Click that. And that just basically hangs you up. That way
Okay.
you don't leave the channel. That just disconnects you from the voice, because that link I posted
Okay.
is for the voice channel, because it makes it
I,
easier for people to click the link and come straight onto voice. I may actually, I've been thinking this over the last week, what I might do is I might change that link across all the platform and put it straight into general chat. So you go to the welcome screen and go through, and you don't automatically join the voice channel. So, people get a bit more chance to understand how Discord works, because it's something that people aren't used to, right? And and still stuck in trouble asking what is spamming. Spamming is where you have your own business, or you want to post links to pornography sites, and you just keep on, because, some of the pornography sites, you've got a pornography channel and it's all clickbaity, and when they go, you get revenue from, get the idea? That's spam, right? Don't come and spam. It's just one of those things we just don't do. We're all friends here. Spam is just the gratuitous, ability to link somewhere and take you somewhere, and get the idea. And usually it's for nefarious purposes, such as taking you to a site that has some sort of Trojan or virus, right? In whatever terms you might look at. Basically, just don't spam. Useful links are okay, but if you click on there and start spamming, spamming links, or spamming, gratuitous rubbish, or defamatory comments for people who are here, then that gets into the sin bin, and then remove the channel. You have to create a new account. Blah blah blah, and it's just a pain in the ass for you guys. I have an open channel, right? These other ones down here, these are other channels. There's Dark Horizon. If we get to know you, we're gaming together, you may get an invite to Dark Horizon, where it's another place where we go gaming. It's when that gaming crew. Chaos Network is another gaming crew I hang out with. And DU Open Source, that's the place where, for this game dual universe, place where a lot of the code is put, so the open source code is shared. Murky Finger Tribe, that's some gamers, friends from Australia, we're Star Citizen fans, and we hang out when we play Star Citizen. Empire, I run an Imperion server here, so that gives me the latest information in Imperium Galactic, so I can keep the server updated. Get the idea? These are just the other channels, right? They're all private channels. I won't take you to them because they're private channels. Or Fat Rat, he's that little piece that I do the play at the front of my videos and the start of the thing. This tune here. If I just wind it up a bit, this tune here. This tune is by Fat Rat. This is his Discord channel where he hangs out with his friends who like to know his music and these latest things going on, right? All Fat Rat music is public domain, right? It's what they all know. So it's public domain. It's what do you call it? Creative Commons, but he does like you to give a citation, right, of where the music source is, because then you can go and subscribe to his YouTube channel. That's where he makes his revenue. It's from his YouTube channel, he's got like 4 or 5 million subscribers on his channel or something ridiculous like that. And he gets 200, 300,000 views every time he releases a video, a new music piece, right? He makes quite a lot of money on YouTube, because he makes his music free. Sometimes I wonder why the artists go through all the big, these big, closed circuit, the EMI records and all that sort of stuff, because quite frankly, this is a single guy making his own music right out there, and he makes quite a lot of money, and he probably makes more money than some of the artists that are signed up to record companies, right? And the record companies then do all the policing work on YouTube. You know how it works. So, some people are really good at making music. Anyway, moving right along. That's Discord. That's why we have Discord. It's private. It's our place to hang out. You don't have to hang out in my channel. It's just like, if you know me, then this is the channel that you can get to meet people, right? Oh, where it is? There. Yeah, you can get to meet people in this channel, right? Get to hang out and do things. Oh, below the admin channel, these are the games we hang at. This is the voice channels when we're playing specific games, that I'm hosting. Guild Wars, or if we're gaming together in our group, or depends on where we're gaming. This is what we do. There's no hard and fast rules. This is why it gets confusing to people, because the fact that it's very much open to interpretation. But people have been indoctrinated into the Facebook thing. There's only one way to run Facebook, and the way Facebook runs is the way you run Facebook. Again, Facebook own the other thing. Facebook own WhatsApp, right? Facebook, they want to use that data to make more money. That's the thing. That's up to you if you want to go. Signal, look, I've got a Signal account. I hardly ever use it. I don't see the need for it, right? If people want to chat to me, I say, come and chat me on Discord, right? Hang out here. Invariably, if I'm home, I have my headphones on, right? And as soon as you ping me, message me, then I'm there, right? It's as simple as that, and it's an app you can get on your phone, right? You can set up your own channels. It takes a little bit of understanding how to do that, but it's all there, right? And it's up to you, right? You make it your house, you make it your home, you make it your hangout. It's similar. Definitely invite me along, I scan through the channels to see who's hanging out, And the one thing about it is the fact that when you're running a room like this, people can see when you're open for chatting. Not like Facebook. Oh, I'm just going to randomly sort of ping you now. You can see him hanging out in the channel. I'm ready for a chat. Come in, say hello, talk. Up to you. I had some guy, Chris 1913. He joined yesterday, but he doesn't know the fact the best thing to work with is headphone with microphone. Now my microphone's over there and it's tuned properly. He had open speakers. And all I could hear was French TV in the background. So I messaged him and said, all I can hear in the background is French TV. You need to sort that out. He apologised, and he said he was going to let's get it sorted out. I just don't think he's set up with a headphone microphone set. It always works best if you've got a mobile phone and you're using mobile phone connection. Earbuds work best there. It's just one of those sort of things, Facebook have a sort of voice cancelling system as well, but as you know, if you've done voice chat on Facebook, it can get quite noisy because people just don't tune the microphone and you can't adjust people's levels, which is one of the reasons why people don't use Facebook voice very much or Facebook video, because you can't customize it. Here you're completely open to customization to make it just the way you want it, and that's why I keep on pushing the Discord issue. Probably what I need to do is I need to get on and get that how to use Discord video done. I've got a link down. I did a video 6 months ago on how it worked, but people, if you wanted, that was, I think, too technical. I didn't have the right angle on that one. I need to do a different sort of video which sort of simplifies it down to a level that makes it easy for people to join. So
yeah, I'd like that.
Yeah. And we might break it down into different parts. People have had different attempts, to make how-to videos for Discord. The problem with Discord is the fact that it is built on a framework that is very customizable, and no two Discord channels, like we're seeing here, will be the same. So I can only really frame the Discord instruction videos into how it works on my channel. With the disclaimer, the fact that every channel is going to be different, and you just got to do the right thing. Join. If you got a join link, you join in. You don't get noisy. You don't get narcissistic. You join somebody's private server. Do the right thing and sort of ask questions. That's how it works. I'm quite open to answering questions, as people know. That's what I do. I answer questions. Anyway. Getting back onto the whole Discord thing, so look, Dave, if you want to do, I just need a bit of, somebody to kick my cage a bit and say, get that video done, Yeah,
I'd like it. I'd like it because I'm still a little bit lost with it. I mean, I'm fairly new to it, but I'm still fairly lost with it.
Well, that's the only thing you need to know. All you need to do is this one down here, the disconnect button. That disconnects you from the voice, right? It still leaves you connected.
Where's that? Where are you showing me?
Okay, so you're actually in this on-air streaming, right? When you
Yep.
click on air streaming there, you'll see I'm actually streaming the video here, right? Plus here's the two of us.
Yep.
This little focus button, then I can turn the focus to that, or I can then turn that off and I can only show, the actual stream. You can look at that without seeing the people, right? Very customizable, but I'm showing you here on that screen, showing you on that screen. So not very helpful, but that's where it is. If you click in there, you will see, sorry, let me just get it, show all participants and click on that. You'll see it like that, or you'll see it like that, or depending on how big the screen is. What you want to do is just click on that and you'll see what I'm streaming, because I always stream directly to the to the Discord, so you don't get a time delay on the YouTube. And there's 3Jazz coming on with his microphone off. G'day 3Jazz, how you doing? You'll probably come on there in a second. Right, so that's what you do. Is that you can see what I'm streaming there. This little button down here is the disconnect button. That'll disconnect you from the voice. Now, of course, I've now just stopped at the voice. I'm still in the Discord channel. When I come back, there I go, I'm back on voice. Now you can hear me again. You've got to get the idea. So it only disconnects from voice. There is another way to disconnect, and that's what people tend to be doing. They tend to what they call leave the server, right? Which means every time you do that, you have to rejoin the server, because that's I can see you every time you come on. That's what happens, right? For a person that's just joining on, until they actually give them permissions, they don't see all these channels. All they see is the introduce yourself, where they need to sort of tell me who they are. I can just see where they are and they're coming in. They're just got to just type something. I'm such and such a person. Or I'm WRPP on Facebook, on YouTube, or I'm Stephen on Facebook. Because you can have any name you want here. I just need to know an association, because if I recognise who you are, then I instantly give you the roles, right, which will then allow you to see everything. Because when you don't say who you are, like cancel, if I look at Steele here, he's come on, but he has no role yet because he hasn't done the first thing, which is how to, you've got to type the agree. So what I need to do there is I need to delete that. I know 3Jazz has come on there, so he hasn't done anything there, so I'll just delete that message. But I haven't deleted him, I just deleted the message. That's just the welcome screen. What you do is you type the agree, and that automatically gives you the first level, the fact that you've read that screen, that you know that there's some rules, It's just what I do. Like some channels you go to, they don't have that. But again, like Dark Horizon, it's not a public channel. You need an invite. So he doesn't need to put any rules up there. Because I'm public, I want to sort of make sure everybody's on the same page. Right, don't forget, please support the following. There's my YouTube, there's my Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Patreon, blah, blah, blah. There's my channels. They're my main channels. I've got other ones as well, but they're the main channels I hang out with. Unfortunately, that page is limited for size, so I got to keep it to a certain minimum. Otherwise, it gets to a scrolling situation, which people tend not to do as well. So I've just tried to keep it into one page format. But yeah, so once I know you, then you can get access to everything. That's the voice, the video, all the stuff. So that's what it's all about. That's how we do it. That's Discord in a nutshell. But I'll get around to doing some brief videos and try to sort of make a how-to Discord on here, so we can get more people over here. Look, although I'm not leaving Facebook. I think that's just that's, for me, Facebook is a utility system that brings people, and I get to meet new people, right? There's no, that's, Facebook is the public persona. We have our pages there as well, so I'm not leaving Facebook, right? But as I said, I would be very sort of, proper on Facebook, and what I say on Facebook is filtered, and it's a self-filtering, so you're never going to get the true me, you're never going to get the, the down and out. When I go off YouTube and I'm not streaming, then there's a little bit more swearing, if you know what I mean, you know, and you'll get to know really what I'm like in public when we meet in real time, you know. This is the real Warren, you know. There is a certain filtering we have to do because we're in these, you know, oligarchies that run the internet, you know, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, you know. I can't lose connection to those, so I have to abide by the terms and conditions that they set, right? If I don't, then you get banned. And so that's as simple as that, you know. And getting banned obviously would hurt my channel, or hurt my presence, hurt my ability to reach new people. So I will abide by their rules, right? And the rules are clearly defined. The rules keep on changing, and I keep on accepting their new rules and conditions. But the rules are the rules. There's some rules here when you join Discord. They're minimal, right? But they're just basic privacy rules that you are agreeing to when you set up an account. And there's rules when you get to here. So the fact that if you did break these rules, then you know, I don't feel that I'm infringing on your right of free speech if you don't abide by my rules. You know, you're not being friendly, so piss off. You know, I don't want unfriendly people. You know, you're being a dick, right? Well, piss off. You know, they're my rules. Abide by my rules, or don't play with the people. Don't play with our friends. End of story. It's just the way it works. I've got the rules plain for everybody to see. So get the idea. Anyway, that's how Discord works. Every other channel you got will have different sort of rules and setting systems. But the one thing about Discord, it is totally private, and it's not, the data is not being sold to anybody. So if you really want to have trouble-free chat with your friends, forget about Signal, forget about freaking Neville, you know, whatever they're promoting these days. Get on Discord. It's the only real way. End of story. Anyway, move that over there. Enough of my half-hour tirade on Discord. What have I missed?
I said that Thailand Tourism is saying that they're going to be charging 300 baht for tourists entering the country now.
Yes, yeah, that's one of the. I think I'm just trying to think if it actually came up here on the. I was going to go through the news articles. I'm sure I saw it there a couple of days ago. But yeah, so without having to find the article, there's handouts for the Thais. Bangkok condo prices expected to continue to fall. Department of Land eases rules for license renewal and better going market license risk.
So with those condo prices, that was another question of mine. Was the condo rentals also go down, or just prices for sale?
This is there's not really. I haven't seen much adjustment in prices. What I did notice over the last 12 months is our rent didn't go up this year for our townhouse. Is that the same as going down? I don't know.
No.
I haven't. Well, considering the fact that because Farang lives here, like it's gone up every year that I've been living here, but it didn't go up last year, so that was a bonus. But yeah, there's a 300 baht that hasn't been brought into yet. I'm just trying to find anything, but it's probably on a different channel. It probably is here. I just haven't found it yet.
I saw it a couple of days ago, but I think I read this morning that it had been approved.
Yeah, I'm not sort of seeing it there. I'd have to go to one of the other news channels, Bangkok Post. I know they've been talking about it, but whether I've actually seen National Telecom, life, tourism, more. No, that's what I use this one. It's not easy to navigate that one, unfortunately. Hot news, environment, technology, tourism. Travel agents call for vaccinated foreigners to exempt from quarantine. Thailand ranks 4th in the world. John Bruce. Yeah, one day ago. Here's this one here. They've only got something from a day ago. Thailand. Too, the Tiger doesn't have the latest news. They always tend to troll the other news channels and put it in English. They're usually about a day behind.
Yeah, Tim's good. Yeah, Tim is good.
Tim.
Tim from Tiger.
Oh, Tiger. Oh, okay, Tim. Yeah, I do catch his videos every so often. Yeah, so this one here just talks about it. Doesn't sort of say it's been confirmed. Oh, has confirmed the proposal to change. Okay, so they've confirmed the proposal. These things take 3 months at best because they've got to go into the what they call a ledger or something. But yeah, so it's coming up. So they're going to be 300 baht. They talked about it last year. They got a lot of heavy flack from the tourist industry, and now it looks like the tourism industry is actually a bit on board about it because they're suffering badly. But they got a lot of flack from last year because they first tried to bring it in as the health insurance tax of 100 baht per entry. So the fact that just don't have travel insurance, then you got. But unfortunately, I'm going to do a slap the figure across everybody because people come here without insurance, and then fall off motorcycles. It got pretty bad flack a little while ago. So, but this is obviously going ahead. As for condo prices, I don't have any real information on condo prices in the rentals department, but I think so that there's a lack of people to take those rentals because the tourist industry is down, right? I think
because no one's there.
There's no one there. No, the people who've still got condos that were renting out, they need to pay the mortgage, right? And the mortgage hasn't changed. Right, new prices may see some different pricing and people undercutting, which then may turn to people. But that's a spill-on effect. The condo prices are only started to fall now because they've got so many building projects going on and condos are coming to completion, and the Chinese aren't buying them because the Chinese aren't allowed to buy them, and they can't. Chinese were buying them to put up short-term hotel accommodation for their Chinese friends, and unfortunately the Chinese can't come here, so they're not buying the condos, right? And that was of course the reason for the what I reckon all the TM30 issues, because the TM30 impacted quite severely. There's been a constant barrage of against the Chinese from certain sectors of Thai society, right? They want the Chinese here. The Chinese comprise 30% of the tourism. They want the Chinese tourists here, but they don't want the Chinese money going out of the country. But unfortunately, that's what's happening. The Chinese tourists come here. They go to Chinese-owned shops. The money then just filters back to the Chinese. But now, of course, over the last 12 months, all those Chinese businesses have suffered greatly, and they're packing up shop and disappearing, and they're taking their business elsewhere. But unfortunately, it takes 3 to 5 years to put up a condo unit, and they're buying on plan. The condos are coming finished, and they just want to get rid of them. They're not making the money, so it's just the way it works. Anyway, so please don't scam PM links. Just send them direct to private minutes here. So it's 3 Jazz Me Too. Bill Gates owns private Mr. Mitch. Here we go. It's one from private Mr. Mitch. FYI, Bill Gates owns more private farmland in the US than anyone else. New Red suggests he has 242,000 acres of farmland stretches across 18 states from Washington to Florida. Wouldn't surprise me. Land is always a good investment. Tends to always go up. What else have we missed? I know. Walt Disney. Your comments. Come on. Bonjour. Just what have I missed? Anything else? I used Disco. You said that. All we hear is Radio Wazza. All we hear is Radio Wazza. Well, I'm not going to put on any commercial music. I'm streaming. Yeah, I'm usually my most quietest one when we're in chat. I let everybody else talk. JCV, my grandparents lived in Kashmir, about 10 minutes from Disneyland, from Disney. I have been there many times. I don't play golf, blah, blah, blah. Can I verify that Warren swears a lot? Oh, I can. Why? I can verify. Yeah. Thanks, Robert. Let the cat out of the bag. I try to turn it down when I'm in the public forum. You don't sort of see, good public channels, that swear a lot. I think Archie Luxury might be the exception to the rule, but I think he gets more demonetized videos than anybody else as well. That's the nature of Archie Luxury. Haven't seen the console in at least 5 years, but it's still there. Purchased an Xbox 360 to relative price of a drop. Less demand. The rentals, I think the rental drops, rental price will drop once things settle with the pricing with the property market. I also tell them to be dick, whatever. Condo rents here seem pretty much the same. Yeah. I just haven't heard of anything really sort of any Thai lowering the price of anything. So existing rentals, they're happy that they've got a rental, and they're not budging on price. Ted Turner owns around 2 million hectares. Okay, Ted Turner. Time for me to go. I think it is time for everybody to go. It's getting up to the midday. I need to go for my midday walk, because that's normally a morning constitutional. It's a midday constitutional. How was your trip to Egypt, Wazza? And how was your trip to Egypt? When did I go to Egypt? And do you like Alice Cooper?
Did you go and see the pyramids?
No, I've never been to the. I don't know where. I don't know where that would even be a thought process. What would indicate I went to Egypt? But such is life.
Typo error.
Yeah, maybe. But anyway, Alice Cooper. Yeah, I think Alice Cooper was one of the best, artists out of the 70s. Welcome to My Nightmare. I love that the Vincent Price track he did. The Vincent Price voiceover at the beginning of Welcome to My Nightmare. One of my favourite tunes, that one. Not so much these days. I still Australia rock, I think, is better. But then again, that might annoy some of the Americans that watch the channel. Noiseworks. Is Noiseworks still a band? I know they changed lead singers. No, but Noiseworks was one of my favourites. I always loved Noiseworks. Got to go. Have a great morning. Yes, William. Good on you. Go to you. Join us. Anyway, guys, I went to Egypt. Just want to see the pyramids, and they weren't having a protest about the road. Never got to see them. Egypt. Okay. The bar in Pattaya, right? Okay. No, I never went. I don't get down to Pattaya. And now that's called unessential travel, so I probably won't be going there until things get better. Anyway, let's wrap things up. Thanks for joining us again today, guys. Me and my usual Saturday morning riff-raff, rabble, whatever we talk about. It's up to you guys. You've got to lead the conversation, not me. I'll talk about it, but I love NXS and Angel City. Hate AC/DC. Rick Ware. AC/DC. I think you can't call yourself an Aussie without liking AC/DC. But NXS, I did like NXS too, but they were a little bit more commercial than AC/DC. I think we're just talking about a different age group there. Being in the 70s, going around the 70s with rock and roll, or Aussie rock, AC/DC were the flavour. NXS were more the 80s group rock. and I think that's just a generational gap. But anyway, not to say that In Excess was any better or worse. I like all that music. And the Angels was one of my bands. Angel City, I don't remember that band. As for anything post 2000, what post 2000 rock exists these days? I don't even hear it on the radio anymore. Because we don't really have rock stations over here. For me to go to, I have to go to some sort of streaming service to get rock and roll, and of course that's up to do with the streaming service and what licensing that they can stream. So it's very much a filtered version, not like the free to air stations you might get in Australia. I suppose I could tune into Triple M or Triple J and see what's playing lately. They do have a streaming service, don't they? But yeah. That's for another time, another discussion. Anyway, I'm out of here. There's the closing screen. Thanks for joining in, Davey Boy, and 3Jazz popping in there without voice. Just remember to hit that microphone and say hello. Yeah, you too.
Have a fantastic weekend.
You too, buddy. Catch you later.
See ya.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.